lot of bad hair, man. Just look. I could get him in the barbershop. Boy, I could make a killing.
It's nice out here. Got a parade going on, got floats, got people, got a loaded goat. Gotta be real careful walking behind that loaded goat. It kind of unloaded a little bit earlier.
Fried chicken.
I'm Brett Varvel. I play Chris Stone in Mayberry Man. Chris is a stuck-up A-list Hollywood celebrity.
You're Chris Stone!
Yes, thank you. I am Chris Stone.
He lives a fast-paced, very much a celebrity type world. He gets sentenced to a week of probation at Mayberry Fest for speeding.
Mr. Stone, I'm sentencing you to Mayberry Fest.
So Chris is familiar with the Andy Griffith Show because Chris Stone's father was in the show originally.
The son of Walter Stone from season 3.
He has a broken relationship with his father. He does not care at all about the Andy Griffith Show because it was that show that really kind of took Chris away from his father.
You know what he said to me when I got my first big role in Shingletown?
What?
Nothing. Because he wasn't there.
And so you see the hurt, especially early on in the movie, where Chris wants to make a name for himself. He doesn't want to be associated with anything that his dad did or is known for. He wants to make a new trail. And so that was kind of like pouring salt into the wound for Chris because he's going to this festival he wants nothing to do about only because he is associated with his father.
I'm Ashley Elaine, and I play the role of Kate in Mayberry Man. Kate is kind of the hometown sweetheart. She's the event coordinator for Mayberry Fest. She runs the whole festival, and she stays very busy during Mayberry Fest, so she really doesn't have time to kind of handle Chris Stone. And we are glad to have you, Nick.
Chris.
Chris, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
My name's Rik Roberts. I get to play the Barney Fife tribute artist, so I come into the scene and try to get the main character to be more Mayberry-like, and my sidekick is a lot of times Floyd, Allan Newsome.
Hey, look, a stranger in town.
No, we've already met.
No, we haven't. I never forget a face.
Yeah, I already told you. My name is...
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Let me see if I can... give me the first letter.
C.
Cal.
No.
Clay.
No.
Cliff.
No. No, it's Chris.
Chris! See, I told you I never forget a face.
Amazing. I'm Allan Newsome. I'm Floyd the Barber, the tribute artist in Mayberry Man. I run websites about the Andy Griffith Show. I do a podcast about the Andy Griffith Show. Huge fan. I've been doing Floyd the Barber since 1994 at different Mayberry events. But this was my first time ever being in any kind of acting role or movie. Since high school, I was in a class play, had one line. And getting to be Floyd in the movie, I've been preparing for that for 27 years, being a tribute artist. So it was a lot of fun. I had a great time doing it. Look at that. I've got to go. I'm a tenor in the Mayberry Barbershop Quartet. You want to go?
My name is Karen Knotts, and I'm the daughter of Don Knotts, who played Barney Fife, of course. You probably can tell the family resemblance, huh?
The daughter of Don Knotts, the lovely Karen Knotts.
In the movie, I play myself, and you see me coming out after performing my show and welcoming fans. And it's so great that the fans actually were able to participate in the movie because, you know, now they were great.
It's about the fans. It's about the fans that come together for a Mayberry festival and what happens when an outsider who thinks he might be too good for these people shows up. And we kind of show them that Mayberry is a mindset. It's a way of life. It's about being with friends and family and neighbors.
In a lot of the movies that I've done, there's a lot of crying scenes. There's a lot of, you know, I love playing those. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love playing those scenes. But I also love doing comedy, and so I was really drawn to the comedy aspect of the movie, especially where you take Chris, who is totally out of his element when he first arrives into Mayberry.
Golly! Welcome to Mayberry Fest.
Judy.
How the hell you do that?
And he's descended upon by these fanatics.
I need you. You calling a greatster?
freaks him out. He doesn't know what to do. He wants to leave, but he can't. I grew up here in Danville, Indiana, where most of the movie was shot, and so I'm familiar with the Mayberry Cafe. My family we would eat there a lot. My uncle is a Barney tribute artist, and so I thought the concept of the movie was brilliant to take this cult classic show and put a new spin on it.
You know, sometimes the fans are concerned that Mayberry Man is kind of a redo of the Andy Griffith Show. It's not. It's an homage to the old show. It is a way of bringing that Mayberry spirit back to life in a contemporary story.
Hey, have you ever been over to the courthouse?
No.
Oh, you want to see that? Oh, it's just like the real set. Oh, it's real. I'll go with you.
Mayberry Man is not a remake of the Andy Griffith Show. It's a tribute to the Andy Griffith Show, and the fans that love the show, that go to the Mayberry events that are held throughout the country. And this is a real tribute to that, to show what it's like, that wholesome values that the Andy Griffith Show had. You could never recreate the Andy Griffith Show, not with the Don Knotts and Andy. It could just never be done.
But it builds on the feelings that you have when you watch the Andy Griffith Show, of family, of friendship, of community.
Mayberry Man is kind of a way to keep the Mayberry legend going.
And it's just so much fun. The fans are so much a part of it. The extras, people donated props, everything they could to make it more authentic, including the towns that we shot in. So if you're a fan of the show, the Andy Griffith Show, you're gonna find this to be super exciting, and it'll kind of bridge the gap between what happened back then and where we are today.
Making Mayberry Man was really a lot like an episode of the Andy Griffith Show. We really needed the whole community to come together, and we really relied on the Mayberry family. And so our goal was to really make it an experience, and to let them come along for the ride, and let them behind the scenes and be a part of the process.
The chance to participate in the Mayberry Man movie as a fan is probably one of the most exciting things that could ever happen.
Mayberry Man is like a dream come true for Mayberry fans like me. I've been a part of the Mayberry world for over 20 years, and for something like this to come up and to get to be a part of, it is absolutely amazing.
I think we'll take this one. Did you sign this for us?
Sure.
I grew up watching this show, and to have the ability to watch it with my daughter as she grew up, and she's still loving it, is fantastic. And now that I'm part of it, it is truly a dream come true.
And all the characters and actors, they're just absolutely great. And the best part of it is the directors, they're really super directors.
Yeah, he's sucking up to the directors now. That's a good one. Yeah, that's good.
I had never been to Mount Airy before, and that's where Andy Griffith grew up. And it was the inspiration for Mayberry Man. And so it was really neat to go there for the first time and to meet everyone in the community. And everyone in the town came out to watch us film, and just to see the behind the scenes, just to be a part of something that they knew was going to be special. And I got to meet really wonderful people that actually live there.
I can't get a word out of this man. We had volunteers that stepped in, and they brought so much to the whole experience, and it was really like camp. It was just like hanging out with buddies for the whole week. And this was during a quarantine type situation where I really don't know what else I would have done. You know, if I hadn't had that little 2-week period that I was a part of to just connect with people again. So all of that just made it such a fun experience.
I've been part of the production for 5 days, and I'm exhausted and I'm happy, and this is probably one of the best times I've had.
It is a lot of work. There's part of it that's a lot of standing around waiting, but when we work hard. So it's getting up early in the morning and being here. You know, I'm driving over an hour to get here, and so sometimes when you're supposed to be here at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, that's getting up pretty early. I'm doing it for the love. I'm getting paid absolutely nothing, but you know what? I wouldn't change that for anything.
I was thinking about my dad and how much he would like this, or what he would think of all of this, and I think he would be blown away. And especially to see how this band of filmmakers, who started from nothing, just with all of the fans pitching in and helping out, people using Kickstarter, people contributing a few dollars here and there, and the governor and the mayor and all these people just bringing their heart and soul into the project, getting that going, I think he would be absolutely amazed.
Within 2 weeks of completing our crowdfunding, we were hit with the pandemic. We finished crowdfunding on February 29th, 2020, and literally February 29th was the date they reported the first COVID death in the United States. And within, a few weeks, the entire country was shut down. That obviously created some challenges for us. We were actually scheduled to begin filming in May at the Mayberry in the Midwest Festival in Danville, Indiana, which of course that got canceled, we postponed, and then in the summertime things started to improve a bit, and so we rescheduled everything for September. It was a different experience. We took extra precautions. We had to jump through a lot of hoops, and some people couldn't participate because of health concerns, but it took a heroic effort by the Mayberry community, and we were able to get it done.
And because of the pandemic, a lot of the actors, including my father, including George Lindsay Jr., various people we wanted in the movie couldn't come. There was a void there, and I actually stepped in as one of the actors.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Chris.
Oh yeah, I know who you are. I'm a big fan. I love your work. Oh, this here, that's my documentary about Mayberry Fest.
So we kind of created these two characters, these doppelgangers, that were both filmmakers, sitting at the autograph table with Brett in the middle, kind of being the referee between these two rivals. And the comedy sort of builds from there.
You see, Mayberry isn't just a place. It's a state of mind. It's in Georgia, it's in Indiana. Heck, it's even in California.
Traveling to these Mayberry festivals with my father has really introduced me to this whole idea of the Mayberry Spirit, which is kind of the idea that there's a simpler time and a sweeter place, as the old plaque says on the Andy Griffith statue. And it really is that way. You go back to a Mayberry festival and it's like being back in time.
Chris is one of those guys who, back home in California, he can get any girl he wants. And he comes to Mayberry and he's interacting with the fans, and he just doesn't want to be there, and then he sees her. He sees Kate. She's the girl next door. She doesn't even know that she's this beauty. She just kind of exists in the Mayberry town, loving on the people. And so it's an interesting dynamic to see that romance starts to develop between the two of them as Chris starts to soften.
Over the course of the week that Chris Stone is in Mayberry, he's just exposed to that Mayberry spirit, which is intoxicating, and you just can't help but fall in love with the town and the people in it. And Kate starts to see the transformation in him, and she likes what she sees.
Soft sticks?
Sorry, I broke your heart, mother.
Here's one of our savage killers now.
The theme is definitely similar to the Andy Griffith Show. The dialogue, the words that are said, fans of the show are gonna hear these words and go, that sounds really familiar.
Well, as you can see, here we have an exact replica of the Mayberry Courthouse, made possible by the Greater Mayberry Historical Society and Tourist Bureau.
Hey, limited.
Limited, that's a good one.
They're not the exact words from the show, but the feeling that you get from the Andy Griffith Show is there, and you're definitely gonna experience that.
Y'all ever been to North Carolina before?
No? It's really beautiful.
One of my favorite things about working with Jacob was just the improv. We're at Chris's mansion, which is one of those beautiful homes on the north side of Indianapolis. It's like the first time we're really getting to see this dynamic between Chris and Shane. And Jacob just went off script and started telling this ridiculous story about the bird that scared him as a younger boy and what that was like.
So how was Georgia? See, I have an aunt that lives in Augusta, and I was invited out there last summer, but I didn't end up going because she has this feral bird, Jimbo, who bit me when I was a kid, and I don't know, I've just been terrified of birds ever since, and well, it gave me a rash, and my aunt, she's immune to it, I guess, by now.
How's it going, man?
Basically.
So much of my best acting in this movie is that moment right there to not laugh. I'm really proud of that performance.
I've always wanted to be a part of a film that I would be proud to show my daughter, and it's a very family-friendly film, and it's a lot of fun. It brings home that Mayberry spirit.
Scene 78, take one. A mark.
Speed. You know, Hollywood isn't going to let you onto their set. They're not going to cast you in a speaking part. They're not going to let you be an extra. But we were able to do that, and it was kind of crazy to think that it would work, but it did. And that is because Mayberry fans are Mayberry citizens. They live it every day. This is who they are. They were able to step onto set and bring it to life. And we couldn't have made this movie without the fans.
One of our best lines, you should hear it. Oh, he delivered. It's like Gone with the Wind. Just give him an example.
It's real!
Oh, yeah! That was a good one there.
It's real!
Mayberry Man is a story that I think everyone will love. And for me, as a fan of the Andy Griffith Show and a fan of Mayberry, one of the most exciting things I think is for people who don't really know about Mayberry to get a chance to know what Mayberry is like.
Speed, speed, speed. That's all he does. Speed, speed, speed.
There's been this resurgence of love for Mayberry, and it's just grown. It's grown because there's such a need for this kind of entertainment that is so clean and fun and real and reflective of the hometown that people love. And so these filmmakers have taken all of that, and they've taken the characters, and they've made another level of it, but without infringing on the original show, because they focus on the tribute artists, which is brilliant. And the people are turning out in droves for it. So now they finally have a movie that's new and that they can continue on enjoying all of these wonderful things.
If you are a fan of the Andy Griffith Show, you're going to love Mayberry Man because it is an homage to that show.
I believe it's for fans of the Andy Griffith Show. They're going to love it. But I really believe other people will enjoy this as well. This is a great story.
If you want a good family-friendly movie that's a fun comedy with a little bit of romance and a whole lot of Andy Griffith fun, you're just going to love Mayberry Man.
And cut. Surprise, back to work.